How are my lovelies? We are going to take a look at September 2020. And although the world is going a little crazy out there and is continuing to morph into something a little bit more interesting every single day, I did realize that the energies of August did play out a little, a lot like the way I thought they would. Things have sped up quite a bit. And I've noticed the trend here tends to be either everybody on one half is kind of just floating on cloud nine and enjoying life. Things are going really well. On the other half, you guys are like cleaning out house, you know, trying to eliminate what you don't need or who you don't need, and picking up you're picking up, depending on your situation, either picking up where you left off, picking up your heart on some occasions, just trying to kind of get back on top of the horse and get to the next destination. So a little bit harder for some of you, and for others of you, it's going in an absolutely amazing energy where things are just going better than you might have even expected. So depending on your situation kind of determines where you're at. But what we're going to look at for this particular reading is where, what challenges you are facing at this particular moment as we enter into September. I want to see what that challenge looks like. If there's anything that you need to know that's just real about the situation, that you're just, it's just this pressing question on the validity of the situation. Is this real? I'm going to tell you what about it is wrong, where you might need more information, and overall just kind of where this is going and what you can do about it, okay? So that's where September's looking here. I feel that things are, even though despite what's going on in the world, things are picking up and placing us in a position where we can really start to manifest our goals right now. I think that everything's really starting to concentrate on fine-tuning what we want, where we want things. So let's take a look for you how things are going as far as your particular situation, all right? What's going on, Capricorns? All right, so I feel like this is one of those months where you're going to want to work smarter than harder. And I say that because you're tying up some loose ends this month. Half of you have it going in a good direction, half of you have it and going in this, you got stuff that you're kind of dealing with. Situations that you're handling, or people that you're kind of eliminating from your life, or others that you're reconciling with, or you're revamping other relationships. So there's just a lot going on depending on your situation. But overall, it's going to be better for you to work, harder or smarter rather than harder. So, and more positive as opposed to the arrogance, because that can get tough, especially if you feel justified, especially if there's a situation where someone is just really pushing themselves on you. It can be difficult to bite your tongue in some areas. So that is what's going to really tie everything into a very positive outcome, as opposed to damaging either a long-term project or having to draw something out longer than you really need to. Okay, that's the biggest message that I picked up regarding the current challenge. But let's see what the challenge is that we're dealing with. It's getting back to your normal set of routine and your normal honestly, it is structure, but it's also just your normal kind of flow with things, okay? Some situations really need to be dealt with. Some things, you're getting ready to sign some contracts. You're getting back into the traditional flow of how you like to do things. But the challenge has been getting back to that energy. There's been a lot of indecisiveness, a lot of stuff kind of going on in all directions. Some of you have been dealing with some pretty heavy duty changes that have been getting kind of your attention in the right areas. Others of you are dealing with things in a very positive way. It's just maintaining that. So again, depending on your situation, let's pull another card here with the Hierophant, though, as far as the current challenge. I feel like for a lot of you, and I'm a Capricorn, so I can't personally relate, that my biggest challenge has been making decisions with things, or having, for whatever reason, my world will shut down while I take a moment to evaluate what's going on and find answers to the solutions. And I'm so lucky that everything gets to happen all at the same time, so we can just kind of crash course 101 deal, and then you can just kind of keep moving forward. Thanks, no thanks. It is not easy to do it that route, but that's the way my cards are dealt generally. So we've got finding that karmic balance, that karmic reward, and getting past the anxiety of certain things. So if we're talking about a loss of something, it could be a partner, it could be a job, it could be whatever. It depends on your situation. It's been kind of heavy on your soul, and you're having a hard time, or had a hard time kind of picking yourself back up and just kind of keep moving forward. I would want to say you've had a hard time, but the moment came to do that. Capricorns are pretty good about picking themselves up and continuing to move forward. But there was a moment where you just kind of had to deal with the situation, and it's okay. It's okay to take a moment to just, process through something before you just jump back on the bandwagon. So I think this is just a time of processing and getting back to your natural flow, like I said earlier. So let's just take a look at what it is that you really need to know that's real about the situation, okay? The King of Swords, we got the Lovers in reverse wants to come out, King of Wands. So if it's been regarding a person or a situation, this person or situation has been quite influencing, maybe not all together in the best possible ways. Together, I think there is an attraction, or there is something positive about it, but individually it is very difficult to find compatibility with the situation. One, because it doesn't jive with the way you naturally kind of deal or flow, and the other because you come from a place of compassion, whereas the situation was coming from a place of emotion and maybe even anger, or power and things like that, and it was just not your type of energy. It wasn't the place you were supposed to be. Now I do get the impression, because these are in the upright and this is in the reverse, that this was for your own gain. It was something good came out of this, a lesson of some kind, even though it wasn't exactly what you either saw coming, or what you desired, or what you wanted, or whatever. The goal, to begin with, of course, wasn't what happened, but it was to gain something very important. I think that's something you needed to hear. What's wrong about the situation? Justice. What's wrong about the situation, I feel like, for you guys this month, is that you, what took place is justifiable. It's what needed to take place for things to move forward in your life. There were some very important pieces that were gained from whatever is going on. And I also feel like there's like a need, or this kind of back-end desire to feel like you need to get that satisfaction or that attention or whatever that is, and you don't. I mean, it's okay to have a moment of just that kind of that silent stillness, that peace in between of just reflecting and reminiscing, dealing with, coping with, processing through things, and finding the justice in the facts and the truth behind that matter, because that situation did take place. That is part of who you are and part of your experience and your story. You did get dealt those cards. Why did that take place? Just some of those deeper type of understandings that I don't think will take very long, but I feel like they are necessary for you to find the justice, for you to move on past that, surrendering to that and getting back to a position within yourself that really gets you back to I'm on top, nothing can bring me down. So I think kind of life in general just maybe kind of took you for a ride for a little while, and you just kind of reeling yourself back in and putting yourself back on top. So where do you need more information? So tough lessons learned, but necessary ones, in other words, okay? That's what I'm getting, and that's kind of the message that came out there, balance, and the Seven of Swords. So even though it's painful to deal with, it seems like this isn't right, it seems like it's not something that, just should have gone that route, it could have been something kind of unexpected, but whatever it is, it was necessary, okay, to get balance in that situation. I think it was just, Caps are very stubborn, and it takes a lot to get their attention to see something in the right context sometimes. And the best way to do that is to really, hit the heart of the matter to get their attention, and that stinks sometimes. But I do feel like you needed to understand right now that that took place, or whatever situation's going on, so that you can rise above it, and obviously there's something bigger and better that you're approaching, okay? So what can you do? The 9 of Pentacles. And the Wheel of Fortune. So what you can do is get back on your horse, get back to that very confident self, and I already forgot what it was. Sorry, Wheel of Fortune. Because there's good luck and good shifts that are coming your way. You needed to be at the highest level. You've gained some things from these situations, or whatever it is you're coming out of, and right now is not the time to get sad or mad, or to feel like you're depleted, or like you were, taken advantage of, or like things are going badly. Total opposite. This is where you take that, you take your tools and your knowledge and your experience, and you just keep your head up high and you keep on moving forward. And I do not think it'll take long. It's almost, again, like the moment you surrender to natural fate and universal law, that's when things start to develop. So if you want to look at your personal situation, let me know. We can do a reading. Everything's still 50% off, and all that booking information is down below. I am being told to pull one more card here. Temperance in reverse. So that's just a clarification that it's not going to take very long. This is going to be a quick turnaround for you, and it's going to be a very positive one. All right. So overall, stay positive. Keep that criticism, that arrogance, that toughness about you. Try to keep that kind of under wraps, so you don't get yourself in a tough position. And I hope that you have a fantastic month. All the information on booking a session is down below, and we will see you next time. Much love.